Shut up, Smarks. Ring Ross Redux. No, I won't tap out. I won't tap out. All of you bastards suck. Just stop watching Raw. Stop watching Raw. So, this week is the paper review of WWE Money in the Bank from the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri. So, you can go ahead and meet me there if you want. Louis. So, I don't just have the good jokes. No, I have good jokes. Shut up. So, the first match, they only had 5 matches listed last week when they did the pre-preview, so I said, well, obviously they're going to add a pre-show match because that's what they do. And they did. And a returning Zack Ryder teamed up with his Hype Bros partner, Mojo Rawley, to take on the Colons. The Colones. Primo and Epico. That would be the what John Morrison called them when he and The Miz were feuding with them back before, well, when all 4 of them were working in the company and were doing fairly well in the tag team division. So, because the week before, I think this was on the dirt sheet that Miz and Morrison did on WWE.com. They wore butt masks, basically, and they were talking and making like lispy sounds while they were talking. So they call themselves the Colons because Cologne, C-O-L-O-N, Cologne. That's how you put it. Anyway, that was toilet humor, pretty much literally. So Ryder and Raleigh executed a Hype Ryder on Epico to win the match, and nice to see Zack Ryder back on the active roster. Not hurt anymore, so let's see how far that goes. I'm hearing some rumblings, though, that Zack Ryder is going to be dipping his toe into Snivy Whiplash pool, so we'll see how that turns out as well. It might not anything, it may not come, but that may be just some people having wishful thinking. It's like, we need to do something to make Zack Ryder interesting. No, you need to stop looking for reasons to hate something and enjoy the wrestling that you have in front of you instead of nitpicking it. When was the last time you sat down and just enjoyed wrestling? If you can say you don't remember the last time you enjoyed wrestling, you should probably be watching different wrestling. Not complaining about the wrestling that you're watching and refusing to watch any other wrestling because you're a WWE kid. Well, guess what? WWE isn't for you anymore. WWE, pretty much historically, except for that little pocket during the Attitude Era, has been for kids. Pretty much all wrestling was meant primarily for kids. Adults, of course, get some enjoyment out of it too, but, a lot of it's directed towards kids. Especially nowadays. So you can get over it and move on and either enjoy what you're watching or watch something else. That's really that's the 2 simplest things I can recommend to you. Complaining is obviously doing nothing for you, so maybe you should just stay hype. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbonology TV. So next up for the paper review of WWE Money in the Bank from this past Sunday, saw the first match for the actual pay-per-view itself. If you didn't watch the pre-show, I don't know, maybe some people just don't watch the pre-show because LOL, it's the pre-show. Nothing important happens there. Snap, snap, snap. I don't know. Becky Lynch taking on Charlotte Flair and Natalya and Tamina and Carmella. And there was some teasing that there was going to be a 6th person. It was going to be Nikki Bella, but oh well. Apparently not. So, moving right along. Becky knocked Carmella off the ladder towards the end of it and attempted to retrieve the briefcase, but Carmella's manager, James Ellsworth, entered the ring and tipped the ladder over. With Carmella down, Ellsworth climbed the ladder and retrieved the briefcase for her and dropped it to her. Thus, Carmella won the match. 2 of the 3 referees did not agree with the decision, and General Manager Daniel Bryan said that the controversy would not be dealt with on the following episode of SmackDown, and it was. And they announced that next week on SmackDown will be Women's Money in the Bank Part 2, or part 2, I guess. Part 2, the sequel, whatever you want to say about it. So Carmella was officially stripped of the Money in the Bank case, but that's neither here nor there, because, oh no, she still comes out looking fabulous. I actually predicted that Becky Lynch would probably win that match. It was a bit of a toss-up. I mean, I believe I said, actually, Tamina and Carmella were basically the two that I really didn't expect to win at all. Didn't expect to have much of a chance of winning at all. And boy was I surprised, and boy were you surprised. Because I have to assume not very many people predicted Carmella was going to win, except just to be contrary. Or just to say, you know, I bet you that's what WWE's going to do, because they've been surprising us nowadays. I mean, if they're going to make Jinder Mahal world champion, they may as well have Carmella win the Money in the Bank. Not that there's anything wrong with her winning it. A lot of people seem to have a problem with how she won it. Well, not the least of which being Daniel Bryan, of course, who reversed the decision and is now making it for this coming Tuesday on SmackDown Live, that there's going to be another Money in the Bank ladder match for the women. And I don't know if James Ellsworth is going to be banned from ringside or not, but we'll see. Yeah, I wasn't disappointed or anything. Well, I mean, I watched it after the fact, so I knew going into it, like, what the results were, basically, and it's like, okay, well, let's enjoy the ride. And it was an interesting ride all the same. It was interesting watching it happen. I mean, after seeing all the butthurt tosspot internet wrestling fans saying, oh, I can't believe they put all this stock into history of it being the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and they had a guy go up the ladder and take the cakes down. It's like, yeah. And you keep saying how predictable WWE is. You didn't predict that, did you? You didn't see that coming. And you didn't see Jinder Mahal winning the world title either, so by all means, keep saying that WWE is predictable, and they'll keep doing things like this. They'll keep calling Vince Russo and saying, okay, now what? Because that's what it seems like. It's like they're throwing stuff at you because you don't expect it. And the last time that happened, Vince Russo, WCW. So, and you know, we all know how much we like that. Now, not necessarily that people stopped saying, you know, this is they stopped saying it was predictable. They just stopped saying anything, really. They just stopped watching. So, hopefully the same thing won't happen to WWE, but I don't anticipate it will, because they're worth so much right now. How bad does it have to get in order for them to actually start losing money? As long as they still are getting good people, good numbers hitting into the live events, as long as they're still getting the ratings they're getting for Raw and SmackDown. Now, never mind that ratings now are down compared to the Attitude Era. You can't compare anything to the Attitude Era. You know, that's like comparing a TV show on today to whatever the top-rated TV show of all time ever was, and saying if it's not getting those numbers, then it's a failure, and people should stop watching it. Well, that's not really how it works. I can pretty well guarantee that's not how it works. Because someone in one of the Facebook groups I'm a member of, through the Club Kayfabe Facebook page, one of the members there said they know someone who works in TV, and they can tell you for an absolute fact that any TV show out there would kill for a 1. So looking at the Raw's ratings, comparing it to the Attitude Era is a useless endeavor. That's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to do anything for WWE. WWE doesn't care. They have 3 hours worth of advertising. So they're raking in the money. They're making all the money that they need to make, and probably a little bit more. And they're actually able to parlay some of that money into charities and pay their performers, and pay all the road crew, pay all the ring crew, pay all the people that they need to pay to keep their show going and to keep their brand going. So they're making all the money they need to make. And I have to assume, and then some. So, I mean, you can cry all you want about the fact that Carmella had to cheat to win, and she didn't even cheat. She just accepted the cheating. Just James Ellsworth climbed up, dropped the case down to her, and she caught it and didn't say, no, I don't want this. So it's been reversed. It's going to be taken care of on this week's SmackDown, so that should make you feel a little better, I guess. Not that they were listening to you, but that, you know, they thought, well, they probably had that in mind in the first place. In case you were unaware, wrestling is predetermined. They had this planned for. It's not like this is something that actually surprised everybody. They had that in mind to do this. They said, okay, well, we'll have James Ellsworth climb up the ladder at some point during the match, take the case down, drop it down to Carmella, or bring it down. Or I don't think they specified how they didn't necessarily specify how he was going to get it to her, drop it or bring it down or whatever, so, or push her up the ladder or do whatever he had to do. Improv. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I mean, it happened. Complaining about it after the fact does not change the fact that it happened. You can express for all the likes and the lulls that you didn't like what happened, and however many people liked your comment, and however many people commented and also agreed, who also don't work for WWE and also don't have the ability to do anything about it except not watch WWE anymore. If it's not bad enough for you to stop watching WWE, it's really not bad enough for you to complain about. Just roll with the punches. You'll probably be happier. There's only so much you can do. The only thing you really can do is decide whether or not you keep watching. If you decide to keep watching, I recommend you find something to like about it. Because otherwise you're just going to be unhappy. And if you decide to stop watching, don't be a vegan about it and tell everybody that you stop watching every opportunity you get. Just stop watching. If someone asks you, oh, you're a wrestling fan, are you? Who's your favorite WWE wrestler? Oh, I don't watch WWE anymore. I stopped watching on this date, assuming you memorize what date you stopped it. I stopped watching it a month ago, a year ago, 6 months ago, whatever. Oh, really? Why? And then you can go into it if you want to. If they ask the follow-up question, why did you stop watching it? Knock yourself out, and knock them out too with your words. But, other than that, though, I mean, there's really no need to keep talking about something you're not even paying attention to. That's like someone breaking up with you and then you going out of your way to show how happy you are without them. Posting all these pictures of you laughing hilariously with somebody else or by yourself or whatever, and posting in such a way that the person who broke up with you, who may or may not still be on your friends list, can still see it. And you know what happens? They're going to like your picture. And then that's going to be the end of it for them. They're just going to say, oh, look, he's doing well without me. Click. And that's assuming, of course, you're both still on each other's friends list. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. So, rolling right along. Next match from Money in the Bank saw the SmackDown Tag Team Championship being defended with the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, defending against the New Day, which was, it was actually Big E Langston and Kofi Kingston, so it was Booty Rudy. Now here's how I worked that out, because last year sometime or the year before that, I think it was last year sometime, they mentioned something, they said Rudy Tooty Booty, and I don't remember what it was in reference to. They just said it. It was part of one of their promos, and it just stuck with me. And I thought, Rudy Tooty Booty. Tooty, because Xavier Woods kind of plays that trumpet, so he kind of is Tooty. And Booty, because Big E Langston just shakes his booty all the time. And Rudy, I guess, will just make that Kofi Kingston, because he's a bit of a hype guy anyway. So he's there rooting everybody on. So, sure. So it was Booty Rudy, or Rudy Booty, whichever one. Yeah, Rudy Booty I think sounds better, because it ends in booty, I guess. I don't know. So, in the end, Big E and Kingston performed the Midnight Hour on Jay. Kingston pinned Jay, but Jimmy pulled Jay out of the ring to avoid the pinfall, and the two were intentionally counted out. Thus, the New Day won, but the Usos retained the titles. So, I predicted that the Usos would win the match and therefore retain their titles. So I was half right. I guessed that they would retain their titles. Well, I guess that they'd win the match, so it's more importantly to say, that's the more important of the two, probably. They didn't technically win the match, but they didn't lose their titles either. So, it's like that then, is it? Well, I oughta. So, I guess there'll be another match. There'll be a rematch somewhere down the road. Heading into SummerSlam, I'm sure there'll be a match. Either the New Day will win at the SummerSlam, most likely, or they'll win just before SummerSlam, be defending them at SummerSlam against the Usos. So, one or the other, I'm sure. I won't be disappointed if neither one of those two happens, but that's just me spitting some guesses out. So, I'll be right or I'll be wrong. I have absolutely no ego invested in whether or not I'm right.
Well, there was the murder of a supervisor, nothing proven. I just thought it was better to move on.
Akujin. Wow, that's a man kiss.
You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbranology TV. So, enough on that. Back to the Money in the Bank pay-per review. Next up, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which saw Naomi defending against Lana in her in-ring televised debut, which was interesting, I guess. Not unprecedented, because Santino Marella wrestled for the Intercontinental Championship in his televised debut. Gail Kim wrestled for the WWE Women's title in her televised debut. Who else? Someone in TNA? Did it happen in Impact Wrestling too? I don't think it's happened there. I don't think so. It's happened a handful of times in WWE. Not a lot, but, you know, like Christian, when he debuted in WWF at the time, he won the light heavyweight title in his first WWE match. So it's happened. Not a lot often. But, you know, so it happens. Moving on. So it wouldn't have been unprecedented. But in the climax, as Lana had the upper hand, Carmella came out and teased cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase. Naomi then forced Lana to submit to a slay omission. To retain the title. Carmella again teased cashing in the briefcase, but decided not to. Because LOL nope. So all the same though, Naomi must have still been excited to defend her title successfully. I'm sure she's happy every time she successfully defends her title. I can only imagine she headed backstage and said, "Hey, somebody call my mama." You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbranology TV. Presents Macho Facts. Randy Savage is currently suing NBC, claiming Law and Order are trademark names for his left and right elbows. And when his top rope elbow drop prowess fails to resolve a situation, the Macho Man plays dead. When playing dead doesn't work, he plays zombie. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkyBrony. And subscribe to Gerbranology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. So back to the Money in the Bank from this past Sunday on the WWE Network. Maria Kanellis made her return to WWE right after that match. Her last appearance, of course, being in 2010. And she showed up with her husband, Mike Kanellis. Is Mike Bennett copyrighted? Or something? They wanted to put, I don't know. Like, I guess she's, for WWE fans, I guess she's the bigger name. And, I don't know. Well, the thing is, from what I hear, Candice Michelle's husband took her last name when they got married, so maybe it's a deep cut like that. For those of us, the 5 or 6 of us in the world, I think, that know that particular details, like, oh wait, we can get the really, 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 really nerdy ones who know that Candice Michelle's husband took her name when they got married. We'll do the same thing here. And it will make sense to those 5 or 6 people worldwide who both A, knew that in the first place, and B, remembered it up till now. So, this was his debut appearance in WWE. The two cut a promo about the power of love and shared a kiss before departing backstage. So, you know what to say. The power of love is a curious thing. It'll make one man weep, but don't make another man sing. And then there's those whispers in the morning of lovers sleeping tight. And then there's the even deeper cut. That power of love, a force from above, cleaning my soul, flame on burn desire. Yeah. All kinds of, there's like 3 different songs called Power of Love. Huey Lewis in the News, Jennifer Rush / Celine Dion, probably her version is better known. And then that last one was Frankie Goes to Hollywood, back from the 80s. The video was actually, I don't know if it came out at Christmas or just made a video of like Christ in the manger setting. So, anyway. The debut for Mike Bennett, Kanellis, I guess, and Maria Kanellis-Bennett at Money in the Bank on Sunday night brought in quite a bit of fan interest. Maria was reportedly the 7th most searched Google term on Monday, with 20,000 searches. This is a very rare occurrence for a McManopoulos name the day after a pay-per-view event, especially when no one's heard of them and no one's heard of her, as far as WWE is concerned, for 7 years. Not that, she hasn't been in Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling and various other wrestling promotions with her husband Mike. But as far as WWE is concerned, she's been off the map for 7 years. So tell me, Hardy Boys, where have you guys been for the past however many years you've been gone from WWE? Oh, somewhere. I think the information about that got deleted somewhere. So anyway, you were listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV.
Bum, 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 bum.
Soup to soup base. Come in, soup base.
This can't be good.
So, Money in the Bank from this past Sunday on the WWE Network from the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Next up, we had the World Title match, which was not the main event, because there were 2 matches after the World Title match. CM Punk. I'm sorry, I think I sneezed or I had to clear my throat or something, and it came out sounding like CM Punk, like what he was saying when he wasn't the main event and he was the world champ. Anyway, so, but then again, comparing the CM Punk to Jinder Mahal, nothing against Jinder Mahal, but anyway, Jinder Mahal defended his WWE Championship against Randy Orton, who executed an RKO on Mahal. However, Sunil placed Mahal's foot on the ropes, avoiding the pinfall and a 2 count. The referee then evicted the Singh brothers from ringside. Before they left, they attempted to attack WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton, Randy Orton's father, but Orton attacked the two, ending the attack with an RKO outside the ring on Sunil and an RKO through the announce table on Samir. After Orton returned to the ring, Mahal executed a Collis on Orton to retain the title. So, yeah, I predicted that. Because apparently the scuttlebutt is that Jinder Mahal is going to hold on to the title until John Cena comes back after the 4th of July. So, then he's probably going to go for the title then. So he can beat Ric Flair's record of world title wins. Or championships, I guess I should say. Well, wins, yes, but I mean, you can win a match and retain the title. But I mean, championship wins, as in you're winning a championship. So, because that's what WWE is all about, they got Asuka hanging on to the NXT Women's title so she can beat all these other records. And then you got John Cena presumably coming back and winning one more world title than Ric Flair won. And because, yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame, but nah, we're going to just totally disregard that. But anyway, you are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Ayako Hamada. Hashtag ROH300. So next up, after that match, Breezango, Fandango and Tyler Breeze made their entrance to the ring. Earlier backstage, they received a video of 2 unidentifiable people who claimed credit for attacking Breeze on SmackDown. They told the team to come to the ring and find out who they were, which was revealed to be the Ascension, Connor and Victor. Breezango won the impromptu match after Fandango pinned Victor with a small package. So, yeah, there was... Yeah. So, okay then. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jarbronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. And the main event, of course, was the Money in the Bank ladder match for the world title, number one contendership, which saw Baron Corbin, United States Champion Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Dolph Ziggler vying for that contendership. As Nakamura made his entrance, Corbin attacked him with a ladder, taking Shinsuke out of the majority of the match. In the end, after Nakamura returned, he and Styles fought atop the ladder. Corbin pushed the ladder over and retrieved the briefcase to win the match. So yet another surprise. Pleasant or unpleasant, depending on your opinion of Baron Corbin, I guess. Well, the thing is, you keep saying, like I said earlier, you keep saying WWE is so predictable. This is what happens when you say WWE is predictable. WWE becomes unpredictable. It's like, oh yeah? Well, how about this? So, you can stop talking now if you want to. If you don't like the directions going, and I suggest you stop saying they're predictable. Because this is what occurs when you say they're predictable. So, I predicted, of the 5 matches I previewed, I got 2 of them right. One of them, I guess I got half right because the Usos did retain their titles, but they didn't win the match, so I got it half right, I suppose. So I got it straight down the middle, I guess, half right. So 2.5. I got 2.5 matches right, I guess, if you want to count it that way. And the other 2 matches, the Breezango match and the pre-show match, they weren't announced, so I didn't have the ability to predict them. So I had no option to predict them, so I didn't predict them. So. That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.